Good morning, everyone. I am here to just quickly go over the assignments that are all due for this week. So please make sure that you are paying attention. And I'm just going to briefly go through each assignment and explain what you are supposed to do in order to accomplish it, going from the very first assignment to the most recent. Okay? We're going to kind of go through this a little quickly, but it should all be good. Okay, we're going to start with the first assignment, the exit ticket for the Inca, Maya, and Aztec. So exit tickets were just checking to see did you read the notes for that week, and this was from the first week, starting on April 20th. So before you leave class today, before you finish this assignment, answer these following questions: which group of people influenced the Mayan civilization? What was the name the Aztec had given themselves? And how many miles of roads did the Inca build? Okay, simple, easy. Let's move on. The next assignment from that same week was the sites of encounter Tenochtitlan. Now, I should also quickly mention I am not going to be covering any of the vocab assignments. Those you should be able to complete on your own without me having to explain anything because they're very simple, very straightforward. Okay? Let's go with this one now. Sites of encounter Tenochtitlan. Okay? Read Sites of Encounter Tenochtitlan in your textbook, pages 404 to 407. You can also find it on the TCI website. And answer the following questions with a full paragraph. Okay? Your sentences or your answers should be 4 to 6 sentences. First question: the Aztec both adapted and adopted parts of their culture from other cultures. Now, part of the answer to this question is having you define adaptation and adoption. So please Google those. Go to dictionary.com, look up what the definition is, so that you can explain how the Aztec adapted their culture to make it work in society, and what the Aztec adopted from other societies. Provide specific examples in your own words, though, from the textbook. The textbook actually has two sections: how the Aztec adapted and what they adopted. So it should be really easy to do this. The next question is going to require you to read this text, and so I'm going to read it out loud for you right now, and then I'll go to the question. In the war between the Spaniards and indigenous people against the Aztec Empire, buildings, monuments, and smaller cultural artifacts were destroyed. For example, the Templo Mayor, the main temple, was almost completely in ruins. In an example of appropriation, the Spanish built the Metropolitan Cathedral in a space previously used for Aztec rituals. Continuity can be found in the Spanish streets being laid out in the pattern that the Aztecs had created. Reconstruction took place when foundations from pre-Hispanic buildings were used for new structures, and change of use was found in both the Aztec and Spanish structures built on previous structures that had a different purpose. So, based on the text above, summarize in your own words the cultural interaction between the Spaniards and the Aztec and what the result was. Okay, so that was the first week's assignments. Second week assignments. Another exit ticket. Provide 2 examples of Mayan achievements and why you think those were important. Provide 2 of the Aztec and provide 2 for the Inca achievements and why you think they're important. Simple, easy, we're moving on. Okay, achievement assessment. Using your notes and what you have read, so you're going to read through pages 421 and 427 to 427, write an essay explaining which society, the Maya, the Aztec, or the Inca, you would most want to live in and why. Provide evidence from your notes and reading to support your decision. Your essay should be a total of 2 paragraphs. Make sure you provide a thesis statement in your first paragraph explaining your choice. So your thesis statement would be something along the lines of, I would want to live in the Mayan society because of X, Y, and Z. Those are your 3 reasons why, and then you'll actually explain those 3 reasons in your second paragraph, okay? Simple, easy, we've done a lot of this, okay? So that was your second week's assignments. Let's go on to third week's assignments. So this is where the assignments changed a little bit. This is where we started to have assignments more similar to what Ms. Mendez and Ms. Dominguez had. Okay, so this was an assignment for increasing trade and competition. So you had to go through, read the notes for that section. Okay, so spices, this is from section 1. Spices come from all over the world, and so you need to read the text on this. So go in your textbook to where it says increasing trade and competition, and read through the text to help you fill this in. So spices come from all over the world. In the left column, write where 4 spices came from. So choose 4 spices from your from the text. Tell me where they came from. Insert a picture of that spice, where it comes from. Then I want to know, is this in your kitchen? And if it is, put a yes. If it's a no, put a no. And if yes, what recipe does your family most often use it for? Okay? Section 2. What religions were spread due to trade routes? Well, just tell me, what religions does the text say were being spread due to trade routes? How were religions being spread? Okay? Section 2. List the 2 naval technologies you think are most important from this time period and explain why they're important. I think there were a total of 4 naval technologies, so just tell me which 2 you think were most important. Okay? So, give me the name and a picture of it. What did it do? Okay? So why is it important? Why is it helpful? And where did it come from? Did the Europeans invent it? Did someone else invent it? Who invented it, basically? Section 3. Write me a paragraph describing what medieval Iberia was like. Your textbook, I think all of Section 3 is just talking about that. What was the Reconquista? What does our textbook say the Reconquista is? Why did King James I of Aragon conquer Majorca? And then finally, 3, what happened to Jews and Muslims after the Iberian kingdoms united? Okay? Were they treated poorly? Were they treated nicely? What happened? And then finally, how did Venice and Genoa create a powerful trade monopoly? And then what did Portugal and Spain do in response to this monopoly? How did they respond to it? Okay? Answer those 2 questions. This week we also had geography skills. So this required you to use the geography section in your notebook, the workbook that you had, and analyze the maps and setting the stage for medieval world 1200 to 1490 in the student text, and answer the following questions and fill out the map as directed. Okay, so you're gonna label Europe, Africa, Europe, and Asia. You'll just mark complete on all these that you need to label something on your map. It's not until question 8 where you actually have to start answering anything. So even though Timbuktu is inland, not an island, but inland in East Africa, a water route leads there on the map. Which waterway connected traders to Timbuktu? So, which river, basically? Assume that you are part of a civilization in Central Asia. To trade with Europe and Africa, what alternative trade routes would you create knowing that you are surrounded by mountains and deserts? Okay? So, think back to what I've talked about, what did the Central Africans do and West Africans do to try to trade with the rest of the world? How many water routes develop across Southeast Asia instead of land routes? So look around India. And suppose you are in Europe and you wanted to get spices from the Middle East. Describe the quickest route, naming countries and or bodies of water you would need to pass through. Okay? Easy enough. Alright. The Renaissance Begins assessment. Okay? So you make sure to read pages 461 and 469 to complete this assignment. So finish the sentence to fill in the cause and effect chart to explain how classical world of ancient Greece and Rome was rediscovered, leading to the period known as the Renaissance. So the cause, in the late Middle Ages, merchants and crusaders brought back what? The Roman Catholic Church kept knowledge of ancient times alive through what? Europeans also read classical works that came by the way of what? And this flow of ideas led to what? Okay? Your text will actually say that in page 462 to 464. As you read the subsection, the student text entitled Exploring the Rebirth of Classical Ideas Through Art, fill in the first 2 rows of the matrix below. So, classical. Why might this type of art been created? And then 2 styles and characteristics of each work of art in the student text. Okay, so do that for classical, medieval, Renaissance. It breaks it down for you on those pages. Okay. Section 2, pages 465 to 466. How did merchants help to reawaken interest in the classical culture? List and explain 2 results of the increase in trade in Europe. And identify the main reason that led to the start of the Renaissance. Section 3. What were Renaissance city-states? How were they governed? How did the city-states in what is now Italy become so powerful? And identify the primary factor from this section that led to the start of the Renaissance. Section 4, pages 468 to 469. What did Renaissance humanists believe about people's abilities? And what subjects from ancient times did humanists study and explore? And then, how did the Renaissance humanists' beliefs sometimes conflict with those of the Catholic Church? Why did they argue? And then identify the primary factor from this section that led to the start of the Renaissance. So we're going on to now the leading figures of the Renaissance. Read through pages 487 to 499 and fill out the following slides. I'm just going to kind of go over one of the slides because once you can do one of them, you can do the rest. The format does not change. Okay? So you're going to read through pages 487 to 499 and fill out the following charts. Each different figure comes from a different section in the textbook. Fill in the following information. The title, so the title of the section about them, when they were born, and when did they die, where are they from, what town and city were they born in, personality and training, what does the text say about their personality and training, and their talents and achievements, what are they good at and known for, okay? So Michelangelo, title, you're going to give me the title from this, from his section, lived, tell me what years he was born and what years he died in, where is he from, where was he born, okay? Personality and training, okay? Where did he learn how to do whatever it is that he did, okay? If he's an artist, where did he learn how to paint? If he's a carver, where did he learn how to carve? If he was, a singer, let's just say, where did he learn how to sing? Okay? And then talents and achievements. What is he most well known for? What did he achieve? What did he create? Okay? You're going to do that for each of these. Okay, there is kind of a lot, but it's really simple. It feels like a lot, but when you kind of look at it, you're really just doing the same exact thing for each of these different people. Okay, so once you've got it down with the first one, all you have to do is change, okay, well, I finished Michelangelo. I can do basically the same thing for Titian, but all I have to do is just change the title, where the years he was alive, where he's from, personality training, and talents and achievements. But all of that is still in the text. It's all laid out very clear for you. All right, week 6. Okay, the Reformation begins. Make sure you watch this video. So read lessons 36, introduction, text page 505, and then read through the Reformation sections 1 through 4, page 506 to 513, and complete the following slides. Okay? So in this one, you're going to complete the following charts by matching the similarities between the classroom activity and the Catholic Church's selling of indulgences below. So we have the classroom activity over here. We have what you have to match over here. And so right here, you're going to have to basically copy this and put it in the correct spot. So the school attempted to raise money by selling points to students. Which of these 3 over here matches that? So what did the Catholic Church do over here? That matches what our school is doing. Okay? Section 1, the weakening of the Catholic Church. There were 3 factors besides the selling of indulgences that contributed to the weakening of the Catholic Church. Provide an example of the factor from the reading. Summarize your findings and use evidence from the text. Popes became entangled in political disputes that prompted many to question the Pope's authority. Type your answer in there. Now, why did people question it? The Western Schism reduced people's respect for the papacy. Why? Oops, don't want to move that. The Catholic Church sold indulgences in a practice sold offices in a practice called simony. This is the buying and selling of positions in the Catholic Church. Explain why this weakened the Catholic Church. Okay? The teachings and actions of John Wycliffe led the Pope to accuse him of heresy, which is a religious opinion belief different from those accepted by, in this case, the Catholic Church or any religion. Okay? So you're going to read through section 2, text pages 508 and 509 to answer the questions below, bullet points only. So what teachings did, and actions of John Wycliffe led him to be accused of heresy? What reforms, changes did Jan Hus call for? In what way did Catherine of Siena's approach to faith help prepare people for the Reformation? And who was Desiderius Erasmus? I can't say his name to save my life. How did he help to prepare Europe for the Reformation? Okay. Answer those there. Section 3. Read Section 3 and answer the question below. Why did Martin Luther write the 95 Theses and post them on the door of a church in Wittenberg? Just type your answer in right here, okay? Martin Luther breaks away from the church. You're going to type in your answers into each of these boxes. So Luther believed that blank came from the faith. Luther said that blank was the ultimate religious authority. Luther said that all Christians were blank and people should read the Bible for blank. Luther claimed that there were only two true sacraments, blank and blank. He believed that others had no basis in the Bible. Then go over and fill in the blank for the Catholic Church. The church preached good blank. The church taught that blank and church teachings were the ultimate source of blank. The church had official blank and did not feel that blank needed to read the Bible. And the church upheld 7 sacraments, including marriage. Read through section 3 and answer the questions below. What happened when Luther was brought before the Diet of Worms? So just give me 2 things that happened to him. Other leaders of the Reformation. Read the paragraph and name 3 factors that helped spread Luther's reforms across Europe. The movement started by Martin Luther swept across much of Europe. Many people who were dismayed, upset by abuses in the church, remained loyal Catholics, whereas others were attracted to new forms of the Christian faith. The printing press helped spread the new ideas, as well as translations of the Bible, faster than ever before. In addition, government leaders had learned from Luther's experience that they could win religious independence from the church, and the Reformation succeeded where most rulers embraced Protestant faith. So you're going to put the 3 reasons that helped spread Luther's faith. The first one, I will just tell you, is the printing press. You need to figure out what the other 2 are, but go and type the printing press in there. Finally, other leaders of the Reformation. What 2 Protestant reformers began new churches in Switzerland? Just answer that there. What personal and political reasons led King Henry VIII to split with the Catholic Church? So put the personal reason here. Henry VIII split from the church so he could blank and remarry. And then the political reasons. Henry VIII split from the church so that he no longer shared power and wealth with the blank. And who was William Tyndale? What important contribution is he most remembered for? Put your answer here. Okay. So this one was actually relatively simple. On this slide right here, so choose one Protestant denomination, religious branch, that you would like to read about and fill in the chart below. So you're just going to choose one of these 3. If you choose Lutheranism, you're just going to answer Lutheranism. If you choose Calvinism, you're just going to fill in everything about Calvinism, and then same thing for Anglicanism if you choose that one. Just choose one. You don't get extra credit for choosing more. So if you choose Lutheranism, you're going to tell me where it started, where it originated from, beliefs about sin and salvation, beliefs about the ultimate source of authority, rituals and worship, and community life. Now, you'll notice that if I click in here, there's no text boxes, so you're going to have to create your own. Just come up to text box here, drag and drop, and then you can type in here. You can notice I'm in all caps. That's because I got slightly angry at a friend just when I tried to record this earlier when he started messaging me on Steam in the middle of the recording. And I got very frustrated because I was already close to finishing the recording. Had to start all over again. So I forgot to turn off caps before I typed. Okay. Section 4. Read Section 4 and answer the question below. What actions did the Catholic Churches take to stop the spread of Protestantism? So just type your answer in there. Section 5. Use the map on text page 525 and the map on the right below to answer the questions below. What is the color of the major Protestant areas? So type your answer here. Is it green or pink? And then what is the color of the major Catholic areas? Whatever color the Protestants are, the Catholic areas are the opposite. Section 5. How did the Reformation plant the seeds or inspire democratic ideas? Type your answer in there. In the chart below, list the areas where Catholic and Protestant missionaries traveled after the Reformation and Counter-Reformation. So areas of the world where Catholic missionaries traveled, type that here. And areas where the Protestant missionaries traveled, type that here. The final assignment, this one was a bit of a doozy. Okay, you're going to read through page 536 to 549. So choose 3 motives for exploration. Rank the motives, 1 being most influential, 3 being the least influential, in terms of how influential you think each was causing the age of exploration. So read section 1, and then, it's going to give you 3 motives. Rank them from most important to least important, and why. Okay, so directions. Read section 1, fill in the chart explaining the exploration advancements. So advancements that allowed for easier exploration. We have cartography, ship design, weapons, and compass and astrolabe. And then explain this advance. So we've already given you cartography. It improved map making, led to accurate maps, which helped explorers by making navigation easier. Yeah, and I'll have to do the same thing for ship design, weapons, and compass and astrolabe. Okay, Portugal begins the age of exploration. Use the map on text page 539. On the map to the left, label the routes of Vasco da Gama and Pedro Cabral. Label each route with the last name of the explorer and the dates of his exploration. Okay? So one is in red, one is in green. Tell me whose is whose. Okay? If, let's say, red is Vasco da Gama, type Vasco da Gama here, and then put the age of the years of that exploration. You have to tell me which one is which, though. Okay. Vasco da Gama was important to Portuguese exploration because, well, tell me why here. And then do the same thing with Pedro Cabral. Another fill in the blank. Read section 2 to help you fill in the blank on the chart below. So, effect 1 brought golden slaves from Africa to Europe. Effect 2 found a sea route to blank. Then just fill in the rest. I'm not going to read through every single one. That would just take too much time. So, routes of early Spanish explorers. Same exact thing that you did with the one for Portugal, except for this time, label the routes of Christopher Columbus and Ferdinand Magellan. Okay? And then, just like Portugal, explain why Christopher Columbus was important to Spanish exploration, why Ferdinand Magellan was important. And then, same thing, fill in the blank. Effect 2, open up a blank route to the Indies, show that it was possible to sail completely around the blank, so on and so forth. Later Spanish exploration. Use the map on text page 544. On the map to the left, label the routes of Hernan Cortez and Francisco Pizarro. Label each route with the last name of the explorer and the dates of his expedition. Okay? Which one of these is Cortez? Which one of these is Pizarro? Tell me. Label them here. And explain how they were important. More fill in the blank. And this second one is just a continuation of this slide. So this slide is continued onto this one. Okay? Other European explorations. Use the map on text page 547. On the map to the left, label the routes of John Cabot, Giovanni de Veranzo, and Henry Hudson. Label each route with the last name of the explorer and the dates of his expedition. Okay? So there are 4 different routes. This one is for red, orange, purple, green. Then you're going to read section 5 and explain why these 3 were important. Once again, fill in the blank. Read section 5 to help you fill in the blanks on the chart below. Okay? Read section 6 to help you fill in the blanks in the statements below. As merchants gained wealth by blank from around the world, they used their profits to finance more voyages and start trading companies. Other people then began to blank money in these companies and share their profits. Soon this type of shared ownership was applied to other kinds of business. Okay? So the section of growth of economy or growth of capitalism, the other market economy. Read section 6 as well. Fill in the blanks for cottage industry and then for mercantilism. Okay? Very simple. It's a lot of just the same work, okay? So don't stress out too much about it. And that is a very brief and kind of a quick look through all these assignments. If you have any more specific, in detail assignments about or questions about these assignments, please reach out to me through email. And I'm more than happy to help. This week is all about makeup work, okay? With that being said, hope you guys are all doing well. I will see you all when we show up to return textbooks. Please just come by and say hi to me. I'm not 100% sure on what day that is. As soon as I know, I'll post it in Google Classroom. But please do stop by and say hi to me. I really do want to see you guys. I do miss you guys. And I hope that you guys miss me. All right, with that being said, have a wonderful day.